Hey guys, welcome to this series. I think we have done the first part of DHCP. This is the second part of DHCP. So as we covered many more things, basic fundamental of things of DHCP. I mean, dynamic host configuration protocol, what the works, what the process, what the overview of DHCP, what exactly DHCP is doing. Everything is we covered on the first part. Now it's time to communication process. So in the last video we just overview for this communication process, and the DHCP message type that is called a DORA process. So DORA process is nothing, just discover, offer, request, and the server will send the message to the client, maybe PACK or I mean maybe positive or negative. If it is positive, then client will get the IP. If it is negative, client won't get the IP. It will get the, if there is no DHCP server in the environment, it will get the APIPA IP, that automatically assign the IP. That IP we will discuss the APIPA about also. And the initial release request, I think client make this request if you do not have current lease on a scope, and the lease renewals, intervals, renewal time value, winding time value. Okay, so this is what exactly doing the process of DHCP, process renewal process, how this client done the renewal and DHCP done the renewal process. When the client first request DHCP server, then DHCP server send the message. It may be positive or the negative. Positive means PACK, negative means the NAC, right? So acknowledgement message we called also ACK. So in between request and acknowledgement, there between a process that is called the DORA. We will discuss the later. This is called the renewal process. Okay, and the DHCP communication process continued, changing the subnet. When a client moves to a new subnet, it cannot use the current lease because the IP information does match the new network configuration. You understand, right? And the DORA process, what exactly DORA process is doing, there are the 6 steps of the DORA process. I mean DHCP renewal, when the client changes subnet, right? So first client need to request to the DHCP server, then DHCP server send the NAC message, then client send the discover to the DHCP server, then DHCP server will offer to client, then offer to client, then DHCP client request to DHCP server, then DHCP server send the acknowledgement message, right? It may be positive, it be a negative, right? If it is positive, then definitely the user will get IP, right? When the client will get the negative message, when client will get the negative message from the DHCP server, if the scope is full, there is no single IP on your network. If the extra client is coming and connected your network, but IP is already full, scope is already full, so at that time the DHCP server will send the negative message, that is called the NAC. Okay, that is called the negative acknowledgement message to client. I think you understand, right? Entire process, I mean DORA process. If any question, any queries, guys, please put on comments. So definitely I will answer you. I will I try to explain well, people can understand, right? So installing DHCP in Windows Server 2008 environment. DHCP server, DHCP is one of the role of Windows Server 2008. The requires minimal server resource, not that's just minimal server, and start the DHCP server service. We have to start the DHCP server service and install the files needed for the DHCP database and initialize the DHCP console on the local system. Guys, you will understand these points once we configure the DHCP, right? So no need to remember these points. Once you do the practical, so definitely you will understand these things. Okay, definitely we will do in later the authorizing of DHCP in active in active directory domain. So DHCP server must be authorized before you can supply the IP address. See, when the client will get here, if DHCP server is not authorized, when client will get the IP address, client? No, right? So DHCP server should be authorized before the assigning, I mean supplying IP address, right? So in Windows Server 2000, you are promoted to credential during the installation if your server is member of domain. Okay, so at the time of installation DHCP in Windows Server 2008, so you can promote the credential at the time of DHCP configuration, at the time of DHCP installation, right? So this is a simple process. When we configure, definitely we will understand. So configure the DHCP server. How? After installing the DHCP role, you need to configure DHCP for its initial use. Okay, you need to after configure the DHCP, you need to create scope, lease, reservation, these things, settings you have to be do. So DHCP requires at least one DHCP scope to issue IP address to network clients. If your small network, if it's 50 or 100, 200 clients are there, system are there, so you need to create one scope, right? It will enough for you, right? So DHCP client configuration. So DHCP client services responsible for the DHCP configuration process on client machine. See what exactly client service is. This DHCP client service is one kind of service. It should be enabled on your client system, then we will get the automatic IP address. If this option is not enabled, then your client definitely it won't get right IP address. Then this is the service have to be enabled, have to be automatic, right? So and the fault tolerance of DHCP, I mean Microsoft recommended using 80-20 rules, guys. It is very crucial, and things every person, every system administrator know about this rule. When we configure primary or secondary DHCP server, 80% of IP will provide from primary and 20% of rules of provide secondary. It's splitting the IP addresses. So IT, it's technology of Microsoft. It's a rule 80-20 we call it. Okay, nothing that. So we can go ahead next slide. So this is the service, guys. I just I already take the picture, also taken the picture. You can set this services. Yeah, it should be automatic. That is the DHCP client process. Okay, and the backup and recovery. Yes, we can take the backup and we can recover the DHCP also. When we require the DHCP backup, we have old server DHCP, we have old server which is configured DHCP, but we want to upgrade that server 2003 to 2008. But before upgrade this server, we have to take the backup of DHCP. Am I right or wrong? So this is the system where should be the folder located on DHCP. In backup folder, DHCP system row, DHCP backup folder. Okay, and restore you can do also at the time of rebuilding backup and offline backup server. Understand? So we will practical do these things. Okay, and troubleshooting of DHCP client. Definitely IPconfig is the most common command, and everybody knows in our field. Every guys knows this IPconfig, right? We can see the IP address. Okay, so can be used to renew the IP. IPconfig command also used for renew and release, right? So entering the IPconfig release command, the issue the DHCP release message to be the server currently holding the IP address lease for the client. So this is the command I already tried. So you will get. Okay, start the command. It's just releasing the IP address, then it will renew the get the IP address. So here if you see, there is no IP address. Okay, but in this command the IP address, get the IP address. So this is what release and renew. We will do it practically so you can understand. So thanks for watching this video. So I hope guys you understand very well, and I hope I explained also very well. If you guys any question, any queries in this video, I hope you will give comments on this video. So I will help you out, and definitely will get more information. If you know more things, please give comments on this video. So definitely I will try to make that type of video. If you wanted to see any other videos of Windows Server 2008 and Windows Server 2012 also, so I'm planning to explain make the video of Windows Server 2000 also. We will do it later. Well, let me complete first Windows Server 2008, because see 2012 is new technology and implemented many more organization. But if you 80% and 90% of organization are using only Windows Server 2008, that's why it's very important to understand these things, and it will help you out to crack the exam also, an interview also. I hope guys you understand very well, and the next part of this video we will do practically all these things what we done the theory basis, right? So till the time, take care, bye bye.